Hey y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist, and do I have something interesting to share with y'all today? So, the other day, I did a post in which I compared, sort of, Carmelo Anthony, the 17-year-old student in Frisco, Texas, compared his situation to the situation of Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, it is very obvious that those are different cases in several ways, but y'all want to be obtuse and just act like y'all slow when it comes to why folks are comparing those two. You had two 17-year-olds, both who claim self defense. The point was the difference in responses to those two young men and why that was. So, since everybody's complaint was these are such different cases, well, have I got something for y'all today? So I didn't even know about this current case I'm about to tell y'all about, but its trial just started and the similarities are astounding, but the responses, well, let's just get into it. So apparently, Kaysen Allison's murder trial began. Kaysen Allison was accused of stabbing and unaliving 18-year-old Joe Ramirez at Belton High School in 2022. Now, that was 3 years ago, but the trial just started now. He has been on house arrest since 2022. But let's give you some information. So, the trial of a former Belton High School student accused of fatally stabbing his classmate began Monday with opening statements and the first witness testimony. The stabbing happened on May 18, 2022, when Kaysen Allison, then 18, allegedly stabbed Joe Ramirez, also 18, multiple times during a fight involving other students. Allison, who has been out on bond and under house arrest since July 2022, faces a murder charge that could carry a sentence of 5 years to life in prison. Now, Allison says that this was self defense. The reactions that folks are seeing in the comments on social media are just very shocking. Now, I'm not shocked because look at Allison, look at Case and Allison, young white male. Of course, it was self defense. Look at Ramirez. Well, we already knew when we heard the name, basically, but so this one's self defense. This is the one that y'all say is self defense, mind you. Let's use some of y'all current arguments. This happened on school grounds, in the school bathroom. He had a knife. Why did he have a knife at school? It could have just been a fist fight. Ain't that what y'all just said about? Oh. So, anyway, the defense attorney, Zachary Boyd, argued Allison acted in self defense after being jumped in a bathroom. Kaysen survived what very well could have been death or bodily injury by a group beatdown, Boyd argued. So, bullying again, right? He feared for his life, he's saying. So, a few weeks ago, jury selection began with 120 potential jurors and was narrowed down after extensive vetting from the defense and prosecutors, which included the concepts of reasonable doubt and presumption of innocence, racial dynamics, and self defense in school settings. This is going to be a repeat of the Carmelo Anthony case, except, as y'all have been saying, the colors are switched. And it is quite amazing how many people of a certain hue are saying that this one is clear cut self defense. Meanwhile, Carmelo's is clear cut murder. That's what y'all saying, right? But there are so many similarities. Being on school grounds, even though Carmelo wasn't on school grounds, having a knife, even though Texas knife laws say what they say. The only difference here is that the two boys involved in this one are legally adults. They're 18. Meanwhile, Carmelo is 17, and so was Austin, which would explain also why he is facing the life in prison possibility. Well, I'll be. Now, there are so many similarities here. So, why are y'all reacting differently here? Why do you believe for him it was self defense, but for him it was not? Why do you believe that in the case of the two young students who have lost their lives, he was just a good kid who did nothing wrong, couldn't have possibly been bullying anybody with his twin brother? But I bet you don't think that about him, Ramirez. Oh, this was probably a gang situation, huh? That's what y'all was saying in some of the comments I saw. A gang jumped him and he had to protect himself. We don't know that. And could he run away? Could he have run away like y'all said Carmelo should have done? He should have just run away. He should have gotten away. He had time to leave. According to witnesses, he did have time to leave. So, yeah, what now? This case is way more similar. So, what now? Why is the response so very different? Why is Case and Allison a victim of bullying who protected himself and used self defense, but Carmelo is not? He's just a black boy who couldn't control his temper and his anger and unalived Austin Metcalf instead of leaving the tent where he didn't belong, even though there were no rules that he couldn't be there and he was supposed to be at the track meet. I'm so looking forward to what y'all have to say. All right. Have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day, and I will holler at y'all later.